So I am packed up and ready to go. We are heading to Kagari. This is going to be an interesting experience, I think. Yesterday they specifically said only to bring flip-flops and not to bring trainers. But everyone's brought their trainers. And now I'm a little bit worried because mine are like right at the bottom of my big bag. So a bit of a nightmare to get to. So it's now an hour later than we were supposed to start. Apparently our tour guide is poorly. So we're still waiting for them to organise another. It's now over an hour after we were supposed to start off. The guide, we've just had an update. The guide is apparently really poorly. Apparently he showed up and fainted. So I don't know why he really came, to be honest. It's a bit annoying. But they're going to be at least another hour before we get another guide. So that means we're going to be like 2.5 hours late setting off. They have said it won't change the plans. It just means we'll be later back. But I don't really want to be later back because I was hoping to do the coastal walk and some interview prep. So it's a little bit annoying. I'm actually getting so frustrated. I feel like this is a lot of money to spend. I know it's like kind of outside their control, but the guide wasn't feeling well yesterday, so he should have called them and arranged for an alternative already. Drivers on the trip, so I've ended up doing the driving, which isn't ideal because I didn't want to drive at all, but it's been okay. It's very much UK driving, just in a weird vehicle, and it's an automatic, so even stranger. But we've just got to the beach. These are our 4 cars, and we're waiting for the ferry to take us across now. The island is with the island moment. This island over here is Kagari, so that's where we're heading. I think that yellow thing there is the boat. The rest of the group's gone up to the top, but we're finally on the ferry heading to Kagari. To Kagari, and we're in like this little enclosed area, which means it should be safe from the dingoes. Does anyone get car sick? Yeah.
One of the largest perch lakes in the world. There's about
First stop of the day is a lake of McKenzie. It is now 4 o'clock, it's a little bit cold and sheltered, but hopefully the water's still nice. Like, the water's lovely to swim in, it's fresh water, but we've definitely come late in the game because the sun is setting and it's hidden behind the clouds, and so it's a little bit chilly. pretty rough after not sleeping very much and having a little bit of a stressful day. But I have made it to my tent. I am now camping in Kagari, and I have had a good look around and I can't see any spiders, although I have now seen 3 spiders, which isn't the best. I might ask one of the boys to come in. Oh, that's rubbish. Okay, well, it's like an hour later and I am now back in my tent. I'm ready for bed. I got one of the girls to come and help me get the spider out, which was very kind of her, so that's good. But I'm now back in bed, ready and getting ready for bed. It's 9:30ish. Half of the people have gone to bed, the other half are making a lot of noise, but there were also 2 different groups on this campsite with my company that are also up, but it has to go quiet at 10 o'clock and then at 10:30 it has to be silent. So it won't be too long before the noise quietens down. Today's just been a bit meh. We were like 5 hours late arriving to the island. 5 hours late? Maybe 4 hours late arriving to the island. So they've shuffled the itinerary around completely. So we ended up going to Lake McKenzie, which was beautiful, but by the time we got there it was 4 o'clock, which meant the sun was starting to set and it was a little bit cold. So as nice as it was and as beautiful as it was, we didn't get to see it in the sun, which was a shame. Tomorrow we're doing the Mahino shipwreck. We're doing Eli Creek, which is the natural lazy river, and we're doing the Champagne Pools, which hopefully means the last day we'll be able to do Lake Wabby, which is like the green lake. So Lake McKenzie is like the natural blue lake and Lake Wabby is like the natural green lake. But yeah, I don't know, I'm just feeling a bit down. I'm in here by myself. It's supposed to be a 2-person tent, but each car has 1 person less, so there's only 7 in each group. And I asked the girls if they wanted to share a tent with me, and they said that they were wanting to share a tent between the 2 of them, which is fine, and it's nice to have my own space and spread out and stuff, but at the same time it also feels like a little bit down and sad, trying to be like supportive, because we had a bit of an incident on the beach on the way back and I was like being encouraging to the driver, but we ended up doing like a semi-donut in the sand, and then we fell behind and they weren't answering the walkie-talkie and the satellite phone, so we started flashing the lights and there was no answer then either. So yeah, not the best. So our driver ended up swapping with a driver from a different car, which was fine. So yeah, we'll see how tomorrow goes, but I'm driving first thing, which I'm quite excited for. It's an easy drive to start, so I thought that would give me some confidence, hopefully. Our car was in charge of breakfast this morning, but because we're doing 2 breakfasts, we decided to split in half. So I didn't do it, but it was bacon and eggs and it was delicious. We're just about to head out to the activities for the day. We're doing the Mahino shipwreck, and then we're doing Eli Creek, and then we're doing the Champagne Pools. So it should be a fun day. Not as much driving, so I'm going to give it a go driving on the beach. I did my first driving on the sand and it all went well. The Champagne Pools are just up there. The Champagne Pools, so they are very busy, so it's not quite serene and relaxing, but I don't particularly want to get wet. I'm like paddling in it, but I've left my dress on because we're going to Eli Creek next and I will be there for a while, so I feel like I might just wait until there. It's pretty cold, but it's refreshing and it's just everyone else was saying it was fresh water, and I was explaining that it's like rock pools on the coastline, and the reason they're called champagne pools is that as the waves come in, it causes bubbles over the top of the rocks and on the surface, which therefore looks like champagne. So yeah. Just had the Mahina shipwreck. He was just giving us a bit of a history lesson. So it sank in 1935, so nearly 100 years ago. So this is the halfway point, and then the ship goes from there halfway to here. So our tour guide had a few floats, so like donuts, so we've been borrowing those. So I've been down twice with the floaty, but it's so shallow. I've decided while the float is in use, I'm going to come down and walk it. It's really sheltered and shaded. It's quite cold, but it's lovely and fresh. It's really peaceful, but just the breeze, I think it's because it's by the coast and in between like two areas, the sand keeps getting blown into my face, which is actually quite painful. So while I have been sunbathing for a little bit, I haven't done it for too long. I've seen loads of other people walking it, but that first bit is actually quite steep. Deep, should I say. Well, steep as well. It goes down some steps and then there's a big jump at the bottom. Obviously I didn't use it last time because I just sort of fell into my donuts. But yeah, the rest of it is pretty shallow. So not too bad. Last time, my voice is so going. But the last time I came down here, it was packed and there was loads of people. And now there's like no one on it. No one walking to it. and I probably shouldn't be here by myself. We've already seen a couple of dingoes and you're supposed to be in groups of 8. So this is worrying me a little bit, but there's not too much more left. To the end of the lazy river and everything was going so smoothly until literally the last 10 seconds, and I felt something on my bum and I went down just to touch it as like a reaction, and there was a massive horsefly, and then it attacked me like 3 more times, and I'm really hoping it's not bit me because I have really bad reactions to horseflies. I've had like 2 doing archery in England, and I've heard these ones are really bad as well, but the guy says they don't do anything, so we'll see. Check in on my bum later. Honestly, I was a little bit worried because it was steak. I did put on my dietary requirements no beef, and there was enough of the vegetarian plant-based sweet chili goujons, and they were actually really nice. I've never had any plant-based food, but they were fine. And then we had carrots to veg with sweet corn. Didn't eat the sweet corn, but had the carrots, and new potatoes. They were like massive potatoes, but they were really nice as well. So I'm feeling very full after not eating anything for lunch other than cucumber because I didn't like anything else, because again it was beef or falafel wraps with salad, and so it was cucumber for me. But I'm absolutely shattered. I'm not feeling very well. My throat's hurting, I've got a big headache, I'm sneezing, and I'm pretty sure I'm getting a cold, which is rubbish. I'm sure it was the guys on the tour at the Sandy Hop tour in McKenzie. So yeah, that's fun. But yeah, it's been a lovely day. I just feel like I haven't been able to enjoy it fully just because I'm not feeling the best. But I have driven on the stand twice. We went to the Champagne Pools this morning, then we did the Mahino Shipwreck, and then we did Eli Creek with lunch in the middle as well. So yeah, we got back in a much more reasonable time. We weren't driving in the dark, we weren't driving in the rain. I think I'm going to sit in here for a little bit and eat some M&Ms in the hope that they've not all melted, because it's so loud over there. You can probably hear the music because it's still really loud in this camp, in this tent, but believe it or not, it's a lot louder over there. So yeah, I'm going to try and sit here for a little bit, take some paracetamol. Hopefully my headache goes a little bit, and then I'll be able to go back and enjoy it with them a little bit more, and we're going to head to the beach. I don't know.
Won't you? Are you gonna find another job?
I think I'm definitely getting poorly. I've just had some M&Ms in the car because I haven't had any chocolate for a couple of days. I'm wondering if that's why I've got a headache. It's a long shot, but you never know. Every little helps. I've got a cold, I've got a runny nose, I've got a massive headache, and it's so loud with like 3 different speakers going on with music. Ugh. I think I'm going to try and sleep, but I know if I try and sleep with the music I'm going to get an even worse headache. So I've been trying to push it out, but no one wants to go to the beach and they're all playing drinking games, which obviously isn't really my thing. So I'm kind of stuck. The quietest place is this car, just because it's a little bit more soundproof than the tent. We have been caught in literally torrential downpour. It's been about a 50-minute walk to get to Lake Wabby, but we're now on the sandblay, which is very similar to the Rainbow Beach sandblay. We're just walking down to the lake. My ankle is killing. finished driving today. We're just about to get on the ferry and leave Kagari and head to Rainbow Beach for lunch. We were stopping to have lunch at Kagari before we left, but it was pouring down with rain, so we decided to come to Rainbow Beach. And actually it's a little bit annoying because I wouldn't have rushed and done Rainbow Beach the other day. But hey ho, it is what it is. Anyway, it's beef wraps again, and I don't eat beef, so instead I've walked through one of the shops and got some ham, and I'm gonna have a ham wrap. We've stopped at a random place on the way back to Noosa. Apparently it's a legal requirement, but we definitely didn't do it on the way here. But anyway, interestingly, they have the world's biggest cactus here, and so I've taken a picture and a video, and it's really cool. I've been craving chicken, and this hits the spot perfectly. Chicken cheese quesadilla. So, update. I've been back for a few hours. I went to get some food. I got a takeaway because the food here that was supposed to be included in the package wasn't, because the kitchen's out of order. I then came back, ate, had a shower, washed my hair, and then I did some interview prep. I can't remember if I said, but I had a big issue with an interview. It's been rescheduled and it ended up being today. I managed to move my tour backwards by a day, so I came back a day earlier, but like 4 hours before the interview started. I then have to do 3 interviews, but actually it's only 2 now. But in order to do them, I've booked a private room, which then cost me £150. So it's cost me like £250. And I was really optimistic and really hopeful, but I've just done my first interview. As you can tell, I'm really red and sweaty and not good. And I don't feel like any question went well. I feel like every single question I did rubbish on, even like the scene questions that I prepared. I couldn't see the interviewers, so I don't know what they felt of my interviews, but they didn't give any like sounds of like improved, like, I don't know. I prepared for the last like 3 hours. I felt like I prepared really well. And it's all gone to shit. What a waste of £250 and a waste of stress. I've got another interview in like 10 minutes. It's a group activity. And I have absolutely no idea what this group activity is, having never done a group interview, apart from like my very first midwifery interview as I was a student to get into uni. And it was the strangest experience, and every single one of us got in. So it didn't really feel like the interview did anything. Group interview over. It was actually quite fun, but it just didn't work with being mixed teams in person. All the people in person got to say a lot more than we did, and we kept putting our hands up in the group chat and trying to like speak, but it just didn't work. We couldn't say what we wanted to say, which was really frustrating because I think we had all the answers, both of us, but we just literally couldn't get a word in. So I haven't got the job. I know I haven't got the job, and I'm actually going to be really upset when I get the email through to say I haven't got the job, because I'm really devastated. There was 4 people there that I had no clue had applied. The other person on MS Teams I knew had applied. But yeah, the other 4 had absolutely no idea. And I know one of them will have got it. Hey ho, I'm going to end this vlog here. That's the end of my Fraser Island tour. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will speak to you next time.